I'll never forget the day a white buddy of mine said black people don't deserve equality because they could never get enough. And that's true. White people are actually scared of equality. That's just how racist we are as a people. And it's not just that one person. White culture in general. Probably I would say most white people, when they hear the word equality, they fear that white people will be oppressed because brown, black, and indigenous people might actually get what's fair and just. That's just how racist we are. And we're so obsessed with the idea of not having equality in America for black, brown, and indigenous people that we don't have health care, that we don't have economic equality. We don't have reasonable gun laws. Our liberties are being stripped because we have a fascist, racist, white supremacist regime in office because we are so scared of equality. We're so scared that black and brown folks might become the majority one day. That we had a black president, and now we've got to have a white supremacist president. That's how scared we are of equality. That's how racist we are as a people. Go to the fucking root. The root of America's problems. The root of the white man and the white woman, their problems, and America and the world. If you think about it, colonialization, white supremacy, the mentality of white people today, not just yesterday, today, right now, the denial, racially, the silence, the apathy, the continuous gaslighting, all that fucking shit. That's ruined us. It's ruined white people, and it's ruining our nation. And whose fault is it? White people's fault. Their inability to fucking fix their goddamn problem. Until we fix white supremacy, everything we try will fail. It's dysfunctional and it's toxic, and Trump and this regime is the perfect proof of all that shit. How we got in this fucking mess? White people's bullshit. White people's racist fucking bullshit.
No doubt in my mind that the map's gonna pass. If y'all can give us less than 0 seats, you would do it. Y'all do this under the orders of somebody that said the Civil Rights Act was harmful to white people, that it caused reverse racism. RFK said that black children are overfilled on antidepressants and that they need to be reparented on different forms. All of them. Pete Hegseth constantly brings Doug Wilson to the Pentagon to give a prayer service. Doug Wilson is the same pastor that said that slave owners were on strong spiritual ground. I don't have no belief in no morality on anybody that followed Donald Trump. If you wasn't with this map, you wouldn't be underneath this president. You wouldn't be in your party. You would stand up. You would stand against it. You would speak out about it. So as far as I'm concerned, if you here as one of these Trump Republicans, you already showed us who you are. You showed us what you want to do. And I believe the country as a whole is rebuking your party. Y'all are in a death spiral. That's why y'all have to redistrict. That's why y'all have to cheat. That's why Trump got to go to Texas and say he entitled to 5 more seats. It's because y'all know what y'all doing is abhorrent. We letting our people die in Iran based on false pretense that Tulsi Gabbard and Joe Kent say it ain't real. Y'all okay with all that. So I'm positive y'all gonna be okay with the maps. But the beautiful thing is, the children that y'all have made and the people that's younger than y'all don't support none of this racism that y'all want. The MAGA party is the last breath of the Confederacy. And I'll be happy to see millennials and Gen Z bury y'all. There will be no more of your party. The midterms gonna come, y'all gonna get wiped out. Trump gonna get dragged out of the White House, and I'm gonna love every second of it. Because y'all loved every second of the suffering that he caused to everybody in this country. And worldwide, we starve in Cuba. We bomb Nigeria. We holding Zimbabwe and Zambia hostage for their minerals. We don't want to give them aid support. The pro-lifers that say all life is special, y'all letting kids die of AIDS. What part of your Bible say that? Point out the scripture. I think everybody would love to see it. And we would love to see y'all in the midterms.
I really genuinely believe that if you triple trumped, then you are all about preserving the lack of culture in white America that has led us to where people go and Bible thump with their AR-15s. Like, that's the only thing that I see when you get all white people together in the United States. There's no culture at all. So they have to go borrow culture from people. Even the word woke, they've borrowed from Black culture. I don't think you should be able to enjoy anything but Cracker Barrel. Get your fat asses over to Cracker Barrel. Quit watching NBA basketball. Quit watching sports that are dominated by African Americans. Quit going to Mexican restaurants. You want white culture, you go fucking live in it. But do not participate in any of the shit that makes America cool. And what makes America cool is multiculturalism. And if you want to triple Trump and you want to browbeat DEI and you want to browbeat gay people and you want to browbeat Black people, as you've been doing for 400 years, and you want to browbeat this generation of immigrants that come over here and open up businesses earnestly, pay their taxes, you want to demonize them and call them rapists and felons and all this shit, when the felon is the teeny weeny mushroom cock piece of shit, Kankles McTaco tits at the top of the ticket. I have fucking had it from top to bottom. White people that triple Trump should be banned, boycotted from enjoying the best thing that America has to offer, which is multiculturalism. Get your fat asses out of the Mexican restaurant. Get your fat asses over to Cracker Barrel, because nobody wants to see your fucking smug ass, teeny weeny, pink arm, big gut around.
Now, currently, even white Americans, what they want to see Maga voters, Maga supporters, Trump supporters leaving Black people out of their matters. All right? They want to see Black people being left alone. Black people don't want to be engaged in everything. Okay? Black Americans want to be left to deal with themselves. All right? They want to be left dealing with their own problems, their own life and everything. That's why white people are now calling out MAGA voters to leave Black Americans out of their problems. And of course, they try to warn them about Trump and what Trump would have done to them. And they try to warn them on how much they are supporting this whole issue of deporting people from America to their countries because they don't have what it takes to be in America. All right? So they didn't want to see them there. But now they are calling them out for help. They want them to be helping them right now. And now it's too late. Not to be involved in almost every mess in America right now. Right? So when you see white Americans calling out MAGA voters to leave alone Black people, they know what they're doing. They know what they're trying to avoid. They know that Black people were right about Trump, but nobody was listening to them. I have clips here. Watch them. I'll come back.
Is it that when you ask some Black folks on the Trump train why they support him, the first thing they do is trash Black people? It's never about policy. It's not about strategy. It's Black people are lazy. Y'all love being victims. Democrats keep y'all on the plantation. Really? Your support can't even stand on its own. It has to stand on the backs of your own people. You talk about free thinking, but all you're doing is repeating white conservative talking points that were never made for you, just marketed at you. You call it freedom, but it looks a lot like performance. And this whole colorblind thing, it's a lie. Because the moment y'all show up with Blacks for Trump shirts and photo ops, suddenly race matters again. Suddenly your Blackness is useful as long as it's obedient. But when we talk about redlining, mass incarceration, underfunded schools, generational poverty, now you want to pretend none of this is real? See, you can support whoever you want, but if your support requires you to downplay or deny the truth of being Black in America, then it's not support. It's submission. And here's the question you can't answer. What has Trump actually done for you? Not what has he said, not what has he promised. What has he done tangibly, specifically for you or our community. Oh, wait. Because while you're busy defending him, he's too busy defending January 6 criminals, calling for political revenge and protecting billionaires. He's not thinking about you. So again, support who you want, but don't sell your soul trying to be accepted by people who only value you when you're quiet.
There is absolutely nothing that MAGA folks won't blame on people of color. Not because folks of color are actually to blame for any of those things, but because it's all MAGA knows. If you're out of work, must be because an immigrant of color or a black person took your job. If your taxes are too high, it must be because of welfare payments going to those people. Never mind the contradiction of saying that they take all the jobs, but also take none of the jobs because they're too busy relying on welfare rather than working. It can't be both, guys. You got to pick a lane, right? Kid didn't get into the college you wanted? Well, must be because a person of color got preferential treatment and stole their slot, even though the Supreme Court has essentially ended race-based affirmative action. You can't afford a home? Well, it must be because immigrants are taking all the homes and driving up the cost. Forget for a minute that they're also the ones building most of the homes, thereby driving down the cost, but, whatever. Scared of crime? Well, it must be because black and brown folks and migrants are making the cities unsafe. Forget for a minute that crime has actually dropped, even as immigration has gone up, and immigrants have lower crime rates than American citizens, but, whatever. When the pandemic hit, oh yeah, that was the fault of Asians, people of color, and their open air markets. When a door flew off a plane a couple years ago, Elon blamed it on a DEI program for pilots. And when a barge brought down a bridge in Baltimore, the right blamed it on the DEI mayor, which is just their new word for the N-word. To MAGA, white folks are never to blame for anything. Black and brown folks are to blame for everything. Why? Because MAGA is a racist cult. If your answer for every problem in America is people of color, you're a racist by definition. If your answer is Jews, you're a Nazi. And in either case, you deserve to be crushed utterly and without pity or mercy.
Black people want to be left alone. They don't want revenge. They don't want to replace us, as some extremist groups have said. They just want to live life in peace, the way they want to live. They want family, they want love, and they want to live in a society where they know they belong here. They want society to also know that they belong here. They want to walk out their door and not worry that they're going to be treated unfairly, or they're going to get that look like they're not welcome, or that someone's going to try to touch their hair like a zoo animal. Yes, they want they want white people to fix white problems of prejudice and ignorance and all the ways that a wrongful sense of superiority is baked into our society. Yes, they want that to change. Yes, they want acknowledgement for harms done. They don't want us to just explain things away or justify or gloss over things without really listening. But more than anything, they want to be themselves, fully express who they are, love who they are, be with their family, and live in peace.
Welcome back to this space now. A white man tried to talk to MAGA voters, MAGA people, on how much they have been calling black people at least to come back, to come and rescue them. Not only MAGA voters, but mostly rural MAGA farmers. They're demanding that they want black people to be working in their farms. And white people are now telling them that you are the one who are voting for deportation, who are voting red. So why do you want to involve black people in your mess, in your issue? Sit down and watch carefully and clean your mess. Don't involve somebody who didn't to take part in your voting to make them go and work in your farms. All right? It's high time for you to clean your own mess. Don't be involving everybody in your own mess, because people are out there trying to struggle with life and everything and economy. And now you are bringing up the story of bringing back slavery, and they're like, why do you want to drag black people into your mess? So white people are calling out each other. They're calling out white people as well. Mostly MAGA voters. They are being asked to stop this whole mess of bringing back slavery, or not only the issue of bringing slavery, but trying to drag the story of bringing back slavery. They know how that chapter is. They know how hardship that phase was. So somebody to be able to endure it. Everybody is going through hardship in life today in America. Life is not affordable. Economy is hitting every corner. But you don't have to blame somebody for your own mistake. Be strong enough to take care of your own mess. Clean your own mess. Don't drag somebody else down with you. Don't drag a black person with you. So if you try to call up for slavery, like you are trying to drag them into your own issue, that won't work with you. All right? So, hold on. So black Americans are out there doing their best. They try to warn white Americans about voting for Trump and everything. But what they do? They voted for Trump, and now they're struggling with the lack of labor because everything sounds hard for them. They can't afford life. They don't have labor in their farms. The farms is big, but they don't have nothing to plant in it. So the no way of you having a big land that you are not using it for anything. So what you do, you have to sell the land at least to be able to maintain the small you have. So poverty is hitting every corner of the U.S. So, but all in all, MAGA people should not involve black people in their mess. All right? Peace be with you, and I'm out. I love you.